Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a G2 SP. It's a tier 7 Japanese tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Cliff, and it's under the command of, get this, BertholomaeusRexodus44x2. Yes, quite a long name, and he actually did change it to that. So, yeah, the other name he actually had beforehand was very simple. Anyway, this is the Japanese tank destroyer brought into the game. I'm afraid, yeah, it doesn't bear any similarity to any of the designs that I've seen that there were for Japanese tank destroyers, but yes, Wargaming put it in as a fake tank, I think. Now, there are two different types of gun you can have, either the 75mm or the 105mm. He's opted to have the 105mm, which is capable of 320 Alpha, 205mm pen with standard ammo, and with the premium 244, and he's got a couple of HE rounds as well, 420 Alpha on those, 90mm pen. Now, as a tank destroyer, it does have a reasonably tough front end, and it's pretty good at putting down enemy tanks. He's just killed a Striv 74. He's in a tier 7 game with tier 5 tanks in it, so he's top tier. Now, yes, the tank does have a couple of weaknesses, or one big weakness. If you can see, it's protruding from the top of the vehicle, and it's very, very, very weak indeed. It's polar. It's also fairly weak on the sides. The frontal armour is 250mm, but on the sides it's only 45, and on the rear 30mm. So, yeah, it's kind of weak. In fact, he's now looking at an M10. That's an M10 RBFM. The premium tier 6 French SPG tank destroyer. That's actually, it's tier 5, isn't it? There you go. He's put him out the game with that shot. Okay, blocked quite a lot of damage from that 76mm gun. And okay, he's got two enemy tanks he's got to be worried about now, a Baguette and an OI. Now the OI could do some serious damage to him, but he is able to penetrate the armor on that thing. Yeah, the Gorilla just managed to get a hit, and there is a 90mm armed AMX out there, but he puts down the Baguette with one shot. But he's got to worry about that AMX because he is a light tank, and therefore he will be difficult to spot. And that enemy Arty keeps firing at him. There's the AMX. He can see him, only just though, and no, doesn't manage to get him with that shot. Meanwhile, we can see where the Gorilla is. He's now actually coming to sight. But he's changing position, so obviously he knows he's got to get out of dodge. Okay, now would be a good time to go up onto the donut, just like this KV-1's doing right now. I'll leave the Viz-44 to hold down those guys on the quarter, and you can see the Gorilla is now applying his attention to the KV-1. Now, it should be possible to actually damage some of the enemy tanks. In fact, now they've got a Viz-44, and I'm pretty sure that the enemy Gorilla's going to be aiming in our direction. Well, he did get 331 from that shot. Now, can you get some more? Yes, he does. Another hit, 299, which is a low roll. The standard reload for this tank is 7.86 seconds. But we can see that Bartholomaeus, as we'll call him, actually has a quick reload of 6.74 seconds. And from this position, the Gorilla can't hit him. But yeah, the Viz-44 went out once too often, and he paid for it. Now, there is another enemy tank just around the corner. It's a T-150, and we can one-shot him if we can get the shot in. Standard ammo. Go for the sides of the turret. Yeah, there you go. He's got him. Okay, so now he's got 4 kills. 4 kills. And they are actually winning by 2 tanks. So I think that's pretty good to start with. And even though they have the top of the hill, they've got the possession of the center area of the map. But yes, that Gorilla's changed position again, and he's starting to lay some shells in. But I'm wondering if that shell actually came from the Bishop on their team. It could have been that guy. Okay, up there's the M10 RBFM just in the corner. Oh, nice shot, but a low roll, 293, but he does go down to the SU-122A, so that's good news. Can we get a shot into the bishop? Yes, I'm sure we can. And it's a one-shot kill, and he's out the game. That is his 5th kill, so one more, he gets the top gun. He's not going to be able to take the KV-1 out with one shot, but some of the other enemy tanks are already low on hit points, so he might be able to do some damage to them. The AMX CLC with the 90mm gun has actually gone up onto the sniper's nest area, or at least he's halfway up. We might be able to pop a shot into him as he's on his way up. There is one of the enemy tanks, the KV-1, goes down into the dip. Meanwhile, yep, the Hellcat takes a round and he goes down to somebody else. The KV-1 on our team takes him out. But we were spotted, so I'm expecting... Oh, there's no Arty shells coming our way. They've all been killed. So that's good news. There's only 3 enemies left. The AMX 1375, a Giro, and that AMX CLC. And there he is. And he did get a hit, and it's a low roll, 305. And he's actually been taken out by the SU-122A. That means now there's only 2 left on the enemy team. The AMX 1375 and the Giro. And he has actually platooned with somebody who's got 3 tanks, the SU-122A. I think he's just trying to avoid the Giro getting a shot onto him. He goes around the corner and he suddenly gets hit. Here's the Giro. He did get hit, but he's hit in the... Well, it was a block shot. It didn't actually hit the tracks, but it was blocked. And he's now got his top gun. That means there's only one left, the AMX 1375. Now, he's got a 75mm gun. If I remember correctly, it's capable of 135 alpha, but I might be wrong there. So it's just a matter of finding him. And last time you've seen up on top of the hill... Oh! I don't know where that shell went, but it certainly didn't kill the AMX 1375, but our teammates did. And that is the end of the game. It's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats. That was the first ace tanker for BertholomaeusRexodus44x2. You can tell it's the first one because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a bruiser for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8 in total, and he got a Hand of God as well for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks or more, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. His win rate from the battle, 5,930, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Highest damage was 3,446 hit points of damage, and the next highest was the T-150, and he executed him perfectly by planting that shell straight through the side of his turret, with 2,037 hit points went to him. In third place was the Giro on our team. We got 1,475 hit points, so not a bad game for him either. When it came to kills, yep, he got that one. Bartholomeus got 6 kills, obviously, got the top gun. 3 kills went to the SU-122A, and yes, they were in platoon. And 2 kills went to the Giro and the KV-1, and on the enemy team, their Super Hellcat and their Giro. In fact, I'm a bit confused about that, because I thought they had actually platooned. According to this, they didn't, so, must have missed out on the opportunity. Anyway, when it came to base XP, he got that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,660 went to Bartholomeus, 803 went to the Viz 44-1, and 739 went to the SU-122A. And he was the only player to get over 1,000 base, and he did very nicely indeed. He fired only 18 rounds in the game. You actually get an ammo capacity of 40, so he didn't even get to the halfway mark. 15 direct hits on the enemy, 14 penetrations, damage of 3,446, of which 873 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage at close range. 10 hits received from the enemy, only 3 of which actually penetrated, 7 non-penetrations. You can see right up the center of the tank, there were loads and loads of marks where shells had literally bounced off the armor. So it seems that this tank actually does have reasonably good frontal armor. If they auto-aim onto you, you're more than likely going to block the shell. And it's only if they go for a weak spot like that Cupola, then obviously they're going to be able to take you down. 3 hits by way of splash damage as well. That was the Gorilla, definitely lobbing shells in his direction. Probably because the Gorilla player knew that this tank is a bit of a threat. He also got 1,320 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He just missed out by 1 hit from getting a steel wall in that game as well. 11 enemies were damaged, 6 were killed, 1,944 hit points of spotting assist. Now, he did earn a profit in this game, 170,562 credits. He didn't have to play for consumables, and he was wise with his ammunition choice, and he also got a mission completion bonus on top of that. So a very lucrative game at the end. 7,470 experience points as well, which is certainly going to help train his crew. So a very quick battle, but also a very, very fun one, because he did very well to get his first ace tank, and he was definitely the best player on that team. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.